Okay. It is Thursday, October the 29th. It's at 1:30 p.m. here, 1:39. Been trying to get a hold of Tony Brown down there at the VA, the deputy director, the HUD-VASH people. I talked to her about the shortcomings of her staff there, and haven't been able to get her to call me back. It was very difficult to even get a contact phone number for her. And the person I originally contacted to speak with her was telling me that she was off. Now I can't get a hold of her. She won't return my calls. I don't know what's going down there. They say they don't have enough money to operate, but every time I talk to somebody down there, they're off. So, I mean, how can they be so short-handed and everybody's always off all the time? But after waiting for almost 2 weeks to hear back from Tony, I attempted to contact the chief of staff there and located his office. It's not in the hospital. It's down the street, I guess, down there in Fannin, they said. So I called his office twice and left a message to speak with him, and they're not returned my call either. So I'm going to try to call his office one more time. And speak with them. And I wanted to make another video of that.
Thank you for calling Chief of Staff's office. Sabrina speaking. I may help you.
Yes, ma'am. I've been trying to get a hold of the chief of staff there, Mr. Calabar, and hadn't heard back from him. We left a couple of messages there.
Okay, hold on, please. You have your social security number in. Okay. So what's your name?
It's Slade, S-L-A-D-E, and my last name is.
What was the message? What was in reference to Mr. Slade? Because I remember that name.
It was some issues concerning the care I'm getting there at the VA hospital.
Oh, okay. What was your first name?
Slade, S-L-A-D-E.
Oh, Slade is the first name. Okay. Well, then what was your last name?
It's Fuqua, F as in Frank, U-Q-U-A.
Oh, Mr. Fuqua.
Yes, ma'am.
Aren't you in the NASA clinic? Clinic 2?
Clinic 4, NASA. Yes, ma'am. It's the number
NASA.
4.
Okay, did someone already called you back about that?
I was wanting to speak to the chief of staff there, ma'am.
In order to go through the chief of staff, you have to go through the film affairs, and they have to set up an appointment if they're unable to assist you.
Okay, so the chief of staff is unavailable?
Yes.
Okay.
I can connect you with the film affairs.
Okay, please do.
Okay, hold on. 5 years from your discharge from active duty for conditions possible. Okay, their line is busy.
It's always busy.
It's 7884.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
7884. So that's the way they work down there. They ignore you. And refuse to answer your questions or calls. They just ignore it. I don't know if I have Wallace's number in here. I should be saving these phone numbers in here, but I'm very dysfunctional, and I don't. So anyway, that's the chief of staff is refusing to take my call. Just like my senator, I haven't got a call back from him. I don't know when that call was made to his office. That's a 512 number. I called his office 3 days ago and left a message for my caseworker to call me back. I haven't heard back from my caseworker from Senator Cruz's office in 3 days. As a matter of fact, I requested through their requesting program to speak with him via phone contact back in June. Never heard back from him on that. So that's the presidential candidate. Is can't keep doesn't seem to really care about the veterans or what's going on down there at the VA hospital. Nobody does. Everybody wants to say this secondhand information they hear, they heard. Uh, I wish somebody would talk to me about it because I would refute anything that they're saying is good. Everybody I've spoken to, everybody that I've talked to about the VA says that they've heard of problems at the VA, including to Senator Cruz's office, who said that they're overwhelmed with contacts about problems at the VA, and the VA Office of Inspector General says they're overwhelmed with contacts about the VA, and anybody you try to contact won't talk to you. So this is just yet another installment in my attempts to get some health care before I run out of time. This every day is a struggle. It's 1:30 in the afternoon. I mean, that's the best it gets for me. It takes about, I woke up about 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, easily 5 hours for me to get to a point where I was at least halfway comfortable. That's what's sitting on this heating pad that I got here, my feet elevated. And dealing with the frustration with the VA down there is no better. I can't get no supervisors to call me back. And everybody keeps referring me to somebody else and nobody does nothing. So I don't know what's going on down there, but there's no accountability, no responsibility. Nobody takes responsibility for anything. Nobody's accountable for anything. They just do whatever the hell they want to do down there, and nobody really cares until there's more of a public outcry and put pressure on the Congress. Keeps asking these administrators at the VA, where does the buck stop? Well, I mean, why are y'all asking them? The buck stops with the Congress. The Congress is the ultimate authority there, and if Congress ain't acting and changing things, then nothing's going to get changed. So they control the purse strings. They shut the VA down and just send us somewhere else. The VA is costing so much money because they're wasting money down there. They're wasting money. Too much manpower in one place, not enough manpower in some other places. It's there ain't nothing down there going on that I've been able to see to take care of veterans. It's all about protecting their budget so that they have enough money to pay out all their bonuses. And if they're not able to get in compliance to earn their bonus, then they hide boxes of files in the room back there so that they can still get their bonus, and say that they processed stuff and didn't get processed. It's I just don't know what to do. I don't understand why nobody cares, But I guarantee you, Memorial Day or Veterans Day, there'll be a bunch of flag waving people out there planting flags and carrying on about how much they, love the veterans and appreciate, what the veterans did. My family's history in the military goes way back. My grandfather served in war, and it all but destroyed him. And for a long time, that was my primary residence was with my grandfather, and so, I kind of had to suffer through some of that too. That's some very hard things to see him go through, and then I served. Both of my grandfathers served in there. One of my grandfathers was in the Navy. My other grandfather was in the Air Force. I was in the Air Force. My brother was in the Air Force. Without these things, if they didn't exist, if there weren't people in the military, there would be no military. What would these people be doing without a military? What would our nation be like without a military? And to me, it almost starts to boil down to a matter of national defense. If the people stop joining the military because they're afraid that they're not going to be taken care of if they get hurt, or once they get out of the military, they suffer some kind of injury or whatever during their time of service, they're not going to be taken care of, and or the level of care that they're getting is substandard. They have these hospitals. They call them training hospitals. I call them experimental hospitals. It seems like that these people are just experimenting and trial or error, trying to muddle their way through to along their professional careers, and meanwhile, the veterans are getting a substandard level of care. I don't get to go see a well-seasoned doctor who's got a successful practice. I have to go see the doctors that can't run a practice, so they end up there at the VA, or anybody that's willing to work in that cesspool down there. Is something wrong with them to begin with. If you're not a part of the solution, you're a part of the problem, because you're allowing this to go on. And the deafening silence that I hear. The media wants to come out and talk about this stuff for a day, make 2 or 3 comments, and then drops a ball. There needs to be a push to change. The VA needs to be changed from the ground up. It needs to be gutted. And if there are veterans that want to use the VA, then let them stay at the VA, and have some skeleton crew down there. The ones that want to get care elsewhere, then allow them to do that, and then let the veterans decide. That this Veterans Choice program that they're supposed to be putting us in, that's not working. I called down there just to give them a schedule appointment with my primary care doctor. We can't schedule you to see your primary care doctor for any time soon, so you have to come down here to triage, and see whoever. I want to see my doctor. I want to get to see my doctor whenever I'm sick. I have to go and see whatever doctor is available every time I'm sick. Every single issue that I have is going to have a different doctor down there. I don't have they say the primary care doctor is too busy. She's always off. Every time I try to get a hold of them, off. I don't know if they work at 2 jobs or what. It seems like everybody down there that works at the VA will also work for Baylor College of Medicine. So, how do they have time to do what they're supposed to do when they're doing other stuff elsewhere? I want to see somebody about this cough. You got to come down there to make an appointment. I can't make an appointment on telecare line. They won't make it. They won't schedule it. So I'll keep this one nice and short. Maybe the shorter that they are, the more views that they'll get. Again, I'd like to reiterate, this is not a monetized thing. This is not for a commercial advertisement. This is not for money. This is not non-profit. I'm not asking for anything except people to realize what's going on down there is not right, and for crying out for this inept Congress to do something. Do something. Besides patting each other on the back and talking about what a good job you're doing up there. Do something. Please do something to help us, because it's a nightmare down here. And I'm almost certain, and I can't state for a fact, but and the statistical data is very hard to sort through, but and that's kind of another thing that I wanted this VA sucks 2015 at gmail.com to be, is a place to, before people get to where they're going to commit suicide, and they've run through all of the roadblocks and been run around and get so frustrated that they lose hope, that maybe they can contact me and we can do something together. The more of us that stand together united, the more our voice might be heard. Individually acting by ourselves, and nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. You take the rot out, you get sick, you get frustrated, and you die. And I think that's their whole MOD down there is to push you into a place where you want to commit suicide and die, so they don't have to pay your benefits anymore. I said I'll keep this short. It's 14:56, so here's a 15-minute video. Thank you.